afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The time is almost 2:40, and today is the 28th of March. I've exited the long IV trade that I was holding at a loss of 80,000. So among all of them, um, yeah, 84,000 loss booked on this, and it was an appropriate loss to book, and I'm happy with that loss because my view went wrong, and I will get into more specifics of that trade at this point of time, and then I'll go into why I did not take an intraday trade today and get into it. So first of all, what was my trade? It was 16,900, 17,600 short and long April month options of 16,600 and 17,900. So 300 points from either of my short strike. Now, what is my idea here is that the loss that this long position gives me should be less than the profit that this short position gives me. And this will only happen as long as there isn't some big IV crush. So IV crush, to put it simply, IV crush in the April options. One way of tracking it is you can look at India VIX, because India VIX will be based off of multiple monthly expiries. But that wasn't the case. From where I entered the position, there was almost 4.5 to 5% crush effectively on India VIX, and that is why both my long put option has lost me 2.2 lakhs. My long call option has also lost me 2.2 lakhs. My short position obviously is compensated. This has given me 2.12 lakhs profit. This has given me 1.43. So effectively on the position, I have booked a loss of 85,000. What was the idea behind this trade? Idea behind this trade is Nifty will more or less hold range, which it has done perfectly. From where I entered the trade till now, Nifty has been at 17,200. It was there on Friday morning, and it has come back there as of now. So that is fine. But the second part, which is that IV will continue to at least remain flat, has gone wrong. So there has been a crash in India VIX because later dated options, the fear that was there has come down. So my hedges have lost far more than what 85,000 more than what my short position. And the reason I've exited as of now, why did I exit it now is generally if you have a long IV position, you want the trade to work out quickly. Either that or the trade is not working out. It's one of the two. It can't be anything more than that. And if you see, my short position at this point has only 25 plus, let's say, 35, about 60 rupees of credit in it, which means the only theta that I can get is that 60 rupees. And versus that, if there is a continued IV crush now with all these Turkey peace talks happening, whatnot, let's say there's a good, nice, global situation tonight, and tomorrow morning itself, we see a further IV crush, then these two long options can very easily in the next 2 to 3 days lose much more than 60 rupees. Whereas this can give me only 60 rupees. So one of my option is to move up my put to 17,000, move down my call to, let's say, 17,450. Then that will give me effectively 100 plus rupees in credit in my short position. And based off that, whatever further IV crush happens here can be managed. But I just don't want to do that because anyway, being Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, I will be switching to a short volatility trade, and I will be trading only strangles. So I'm just calling this trade because it's not worth it. If there's any further IV crush from here, then my position is going to be. So anyway, I exited my trade around 225. I'll go over exactly that part. But the idea here is, okay, the view that IV will remain flat or at least maybe go up a little bit went wrong. So at that point, have to take the stop loss, have to take the exit. So this day's history doesn't mean anything. It's just me having exited this particular position. So the previous time when I took a long IV trade worked out very well. This time, not so well. So you have to cut that in time. Now, why did I not take an intraday trade today? Now, first of all, today is a Monday. On Monday, I will look for a lot of reasons to try and enter a trade, and I will try my best in this current market to not jump into a trade, because whenever you have to look at it this way. From Friday to this morning, where the market opened, is flat. And flat openings in this market are the worst, because if it opens flat, it means that people who have carried long call options, they will dump all of it in the morning. Calls lose value. People who have carried long put options, they will dump all of it in the morning. When puts lose value, everything has lost value. So your potential to gain is very little because there's a crush of premium on both sides. right? And if there is a directional move after a flat opening, then that side is going to explode, which obviously was the case this morning. We opened flat. From there, we had this sell off, put options doubled. Call options really didn't give up that much. And after that, we had this massive short covering up move of 200 plus points. Broke this trend line. People would have gone long here, would have got stopped out here. So in this market, I don't believe in adjustments. I believe you take a trade. If it works out, you trail your profits, you book your profits. That's great. Be it any trade for that matter. And if you need to be able to switch your sides very quickly. And if you are losing on a trade from entry, you just have to get out at an appropriate time. There's not adjustments here will do you wrong. Like for example, let me give you an example. Today, this particular put option at its high, it was trading at 110. This call option was trading at 15. Why did I not bring down my call option? Many people said, see, first of all, my position sizing is appropriate. The reason I didn't bring down my call is simply because this is how the market has been. If I bring down my call and I have this up move, my long April put option is going to lose a lot of value, because if you see, this had gone up to 280 plus. That is also going to lose value, and my call option, which I'm now shorted at a lower level, that is also going to bleed. So my preference really at this point of time is I will take a trade, be it short IV, long IV, and I will take a stop loss. I will not sit in that trade and try to fight with the market, do adjustments, unless of course it is Thursday. Literally even Wednesday is at this point of time feeling really not worth doing adjustments in this nature of market. I would prefer to get out. So the reason I exited is simple. These two put together have close to around 400 rupees. When I exited, there was close to 400 rupees between the two of them. These two together had about 65. There's not much. That 400 can very easily lose a lot more than 65 in the next 3 days if we continue to see this downward trend in India VIX. I'll just refer to it as India VIX. What I'm talking about is the IVs of the April month options, but one can be substitute for the other for practical purposes. Okay, so that is more or less a summary of the day. I have these two positions, Reliance call option and ITC call option, which are bleeding. That's perfectly fine. They're fully hedged. I cover them with my shares and they are still out of the money. ITC almost reaching at the money, and ITC almost reaching at the money. Reliance still 85 points out of the money. I have more than enough time to manage this, and it's fully hedged, so I don't particularly care. So that's more or less the summary of the day. Friday, no short volatility intraday trade. Entered this trade. Today also no short volatility intraday trade. Booked this trade at acceptable loss. And yeah, we'll see tomorrow, day after, if there are any opportunities, and we'll trade accordingly. I hope you've been having a good trading day, and I will catch you at the next one. Take care. Bye bye.